What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Fruit of the Spirit with myself, Jordan. I got a lot of hats right here. We need to make a little adjustment. We will at some point, but that's really not the topic for today. Today we're going to be talking about, can you make God's plans over your life change with your mistakes? I was a poor representation of Christ to the people around me a couple weeks ago. When I was on a beach trip, I guess my attitude and the way I was acting sometimes wasn't the best representation of Christ. And I felt like a hypocrite. I got called out for it, and it really, really convicted me to be better to other people, treat people as if Jesus were standing next to me. Although there's a lot more details in that situation, I may disagree or agree with some of the things that I was called out for. Ultimately, it was a righteous judgment. It was a correct judgment. It was a judgment that hurt me because I agreed with it. And so what is my point with all these things? Is that I've made a number of mistakes in the past couple months that have led me to not wanting to listen to worship music, reading scripture, going to church. It hasn't made me want to do those things because I felt like I wasn't worthy to do those things, to go to God, because of how I treated his children, and even how I treated him, how I decided to treat the things that he's put in my life, the things that he's blessed me with and gifted me with. And so that all led me to having a conversation with my pastor. In this conversation, this is like a little quote. It's like not probably 100% what he said, but it's as much as I can remember. We might alter the route with our poor choices, but we ultimately end up where God planned for us to be because he knew the destination. So you can do all these little things in your life, like making poor choices, making mistakes. Maybe you smoked the other night. Maybe you slept with someone before marriage the other night. You name it, whatever it is. You could have done any of those things, and those are absolutely poor choices in the eyes of God. But if you're chosen, if you're appointed, if you've given your life to Jesus, bro, there's nothing that you can ultimately do to get in the way of where you will end up going. Like the destination that God has planned for you, you can't change that. You may try to take different routes towards that destination because you think you know the way better than God does, but honestly, bro, like you're going to end up in the same place if this is what God has planned for you. If he has a specific thing anointed over your life, there's nothing you can do to get in the way of that because he is all-powerful, he is almighty. And I have scripture right here, Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. I love how it says, for who love God, all things work together for good. Right? Because we think that all the bad things in our life will ultimately lead to something even worse because we messed up 100 times. We're like, okay, that means the consequence is going to be 10 times that. But no, God works all things together for the good. So number up all the bad things in your life, tally them up. And somehow, some way, God will work through all those things to make greatness out of it. He says he will work them for the good. So all that bad in your life doesn't equate to bad. All that bad equates to good. God will somehow use it for the glory of his name, for the glory of the kingdom. All right, so don't worry about trying to that you've messed up where God has you finally placed when it's all said and done. Like you haven't messed it up, bro. Keep following Jesus. Even when you mess up, cling to Jesus. When you fail, cling to Jesus. When you fall, cling to Jesus, bro. Cling to him because there's nothing that you could do to make him love you less. All right, I love you guys. See ya.